Hi, church. I'm here with my husband, Mr. Wortman, but you could call him Larry. That's what he usually goes by with most of his friends. I call him Mr. Wortman because you may notice that I didn't change my name when we got married. But he went to the doctor a lot, and the doctors would come to the waiting room, the nurses, and call Mr. Wortman, Mrs. Wortman, would you like to come back? And Larry tried to tell them, oh, she's not Mrs. Wortman, but it was very confusing. But I liked being Mrs. Wortman. I liked, strangely, I never thought this would happen to me, but I liked to be owned, attached to him. Anyway, it made me happy. So I started calling him Mr. Wortman, sillily, but it just stuck. And now most people know him that way. Anyway, I know that many of you would like to meet him. You're anxious because you haven't laid eyes on him really. He's here. I said, honey, I'm getting ready to video you in a few minutes. And he decided he needed to change his shirt and comb his hair. He hasn't had a haircut since, I don't know, probably February.
Yeah.
So he needed a haircut when we went to the lockdown. So he is immune compromised, so he does not leave home and won't be able to join us in church. And when I move into the parsonage, when it's finished very soon, he will stay here in our home in Crum because it's just a safer place for him. And also, his doctors are here, and trying to change doctors in the middle of a pandemic seems like a really terrible idea. Anyway, he wants to meet you. So, well, I wanted him to meet you. What do you want to say to the people? Anything?
Well, I'm glad for y'all to see me. I can't see y'all right now. And I want to thank y'all for welcoming April. And hopefully, in the not too distant future, I'll be able to meet all of y'all. I hope all of this gets taken care of and we can all get together. And I'm looking forward to meeting all of y'all.
Thank you. A year ago this week, Larry suffered a very serious illness and he almost died from it. Literally, I was sitting with him in ICU. He was intubated, and the doctors didn't know from 1 minute to the next whether he was going to live or not. And during that time, I called on my faith, perhaps as I never had before. I leaned into Jesus and all the prayers that were being lifted for us. I really felt them carrying us as literally as I never had before in my life. And so this week, especially, I'm feeling so grateful for the life of my husband and for the faith that grew stronger in me during that time. And I told the staff at our staff meeting on Tuesday, I've been thinking a lot about Paul and his words to us to rejoice and give thanks that he wrote even when he was in prison. And no one has suffered like Paul did for his faith. Not no one. There have been many martyrs in our faith, but Paul suffered so much. And to be able to write to us in 1 Thessalonians 5, rejoice always, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is God's will in Christ Jesus for you. And it's a hard time right now for us to maybe be thinking about the things that we're grateful for, but that's been my focus this week. So I'm wondering what you are feeling grateful for right now. What in the middle of all this mess can you give thanks to God for today? We love you, and we'll see you soon. Blessings.
Bye bye.